Great morning, Houston, downtown, midtown, third ward, fifth ward. Those of you listening in the car at 102.5 FM, great good morning to you that are tapped in through our free KMAZ app. Great morning to you that are listening on our website at www.amazing1025fm.org. I'm Amanda Sapp here. An amazing 102.5 FM. You do good through good station. We were changing lives one listener at a time. I'm really actually excited about the guest that we have here in the studio with us today. I've seen her do events and put really herself in the forefront as it relates to condition that we're going to talk about today and being bold about what it
Yeah.
what you need to be bold about.
Right.
And we're going to share with our listening audience your story, how you came about these amazing events, why they exist, and how you are the social boss. Is that okay?
Yeah. It's
Would you
totally
mind
okay.
if I introduce you?
Of course.
She is the creative, evolutionary digital powerhouse, CEO and founder of Social Boss Empire and Women in Wine Global. Social Boss Empire navigates businesses online impact through creative direction, captivating branding, innovative digital marketing, media coverage, and evolutionary growth. She would consider herself optimistic, vibrant, and determined. Please welcome into our amazing studio, Miss Shalainna Ogunbiyi. Great morning.
Hello. Great morning. How's it going?
I am blessed and highly favored, and
Good.
excited to be chatting with you about social boss empire and women in wine Houston.
Yes,
I have to share with our
ma'am.
audience. I got a chance to experience your boss brunch,
Uh huh.
which was all
Thank you for coming,
green.
by the way.
Absolutely, I was glad to be there. Yeah, I'm in your video, so I was like, all
Yes,
right,
you
I
are.
got to be
And
in
looking
there.
good.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I got a cameo in there, and I mention it because I'd seen something. I'd been to something you did at Oh, I can't think of the hotel.
And probably,
It was starts with the S. It was the yeah last
oh,
year or something like that.
probably at one of the Marriotts or something, or Sanista.
So
I don't know.
yeah. It was
One of
the
the two.
Nista. It was the
Yeah.
Nista. So you
Uh
always
huh.
do it big. You always do
Mm-hmm.
it grand, and always for a party with a purpose.
Yes.
So I just introduced who you are, but for someone who is just hearing about you for the very first time,
Yeah.
Miss Ogumi, please tell us a little more about you.
Yeah. So hey y'all, how's it going?
Hey.
I'm Shalainna. Everybody calls me Social Boss. Um, just a woman that is determined and has had every bit of adversity hit her, but I just try to persevere through and show others that through my work and through God's work, hey, anything can be done. Serial entrepreneur, former speech therapist, so definitely transition, but I'm just a optimistic, open-minded person that's trying to navigate the business sector as best as I can.
As you're navigating the business sector, we talked about digital and your idea of what that would mean to you and
Yeah.
what it could mean to other businesses. So I got a few questions for you, and
Okay.
if that's okay with you.
Perfect. Yeah.
How do you envision the role of digital influence evolving in the next few years, especially with the rise of AI and immersive media? And I asked you that
Mm.
because, again, I see your promotion and it
Mm-hmm.
is, you do it well. So
Thank you.
tell me how you've been able to maneuver through that.
I see it actually elevating immensely, I will say, because we're in and I tell people this all the time, short disclaimer, I started my businesses from Instagram. Like I literally played with the internet and started a business before it was a real business online. So the power of the internet is absolutely insane. And with AI just integrated, it's just making things so easy and almost click of a button for everything. So I feel like as far as the digital space, it's going to advance, and those who aren't fully immersed within are almost going to get left behind. I think that the quote unquote stone age of things, pen and paper, or not that it's going to be completely omitted, but at the same time, it's you're definitely going to have to get in this digital space to flourish. Even in business now, a lot of business owners are like, I have to be a content creator too. And it's, yeah, you kind of do. So we're in a digital era, digital age, and I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon.
Now, when you were playing with the internet,
Mm-hmm.
was it during your downtime? Was it when you found out you had kidney failure? Tell me how you were able to
Yeah.
play on the line
Yeah.
and be diagnosed with kidney failure.
Sure. So I was a speech therapist at first, and I'll be transparent and say good at it, not passionate about it. And then I got diagnosed with kidney failure. I got super sick. I was put on dialysis, and it made me more still, per se. I'm really not a stagnant person, so it was hard for me. I had to find something to do. But sitting there, I couldn't move, so I knew that I had to do something. I started bringing my laptop. The nurses called me crazy, and then I turned it into an office because it turned into treatments are about 4 to 6 hours, just depending on what you do,
Mm-hmm.
who you are, and what your body needs. But I would sit there and get so immersed in the internet that I was losing track of time that I was sitting on the chair, which was good. It distracted me. But at the same time, it started becoming lucrative. I signed my first deal with Under Armour at 800 followers.
Under
And
Armour.
then, yeah, crazy,
Continue,
right?
continue, continue,
Right.
continue.
Signed my first deal with Under Armour at 800 followers. This was at the time where everybody was like, oh, you need
Yeah,
10K. You
yeah,
need 10K.
sure.
But I've never had 10K ever on any platform. And I've done pretty big things on the internet. So learning how to navigate it, I eventually, people start asking me, well, can you do mine? Can you do mine? Went into influencer and blog management. It got to be something I wasn't passionate about, but building people's businesses and brands I loved. So I just started doing that, made an agency, and then Women in Wine just kind of came out of let's host an event. And I didn't know. I said, okay, I want 30 people. We're going to have dinner. It's going to be nice. And then it was 200 people. And I said, where did you guys come from? So people have poured into me with that. But that's kind of how my business got started. It all started on a chair behind a laptop, not even really trying to create a business. God just did it, honestly.
What did you have to do with Under Armour, and how did they reach out to you?
Yeah, so they reached out in the DMs. It was one of their smaller campaigns, but it was still the fact that I got it, right? And I got paid. So I had to post these shoes. They just debuted it. To be honest, the shoes weren't as popular as people would know them to be. So they sent them to a lot of micro influencers, but they paid, and we only had to keep it up for 48 hours. But from there, I started getting bigger, recognition and contracts, just the way I did it. A lot of boutiques after that, Francesca's, we
them.
did Express, right? So it was like a lot of things came through. And the more I started to do brands and the more I started to collaborate with brands, I kind of got knowledge on how to present a brand online. So that was kind of how Social Boss Empire came about, and saying, okay, now I can do somebody else's brand and business because I see the inside of what you guys are doing at this big company. So
how much did Under Armour pay you, and what's the biggest contract you've gotten in at the time of doing all of this?
Yeah, so I really don't get into numbers too much. It was a smaller campaign, so probably between like, I don't know, like $800 or something.
Girl, these people online, like, they
yeah,
to get five,
No, I get it. I get it. And it came out of nowhere. And that was at a time where I didn't have it. So I was looking like, yes, like this is great. Right. I'm rich. Okay. And then that allowed me to get my LLC too. Like at that time, I was struggling still, So got my LLC. I said, okay, I'm gonna do Social Boss Empire, not even knowing what that was. I just thought of something. And so they paid that. I had to keep the post up for 48 hours. And like at that time, DM selling was a lot. So they said, okay, send at least 50 DMs. I didn't have to talk or anything. Just send them, send proof that you did that. And then from there, it just kind of, it went up.
How old were you when you got word that you would have kidney failure? Because by the time you get into the table,
girl,
I mean, or wherever you were, the chair,
it was a lot. So I got diagnosed in 2018. I was in Jamaica and I got super sick, right? So I said, oh, okay, I thought it was like time of the month or normal womanly things, or just their food there. But my brother was like, we've been here before. You've never gotten sick over the food. Got back to the U.S., same thing. Nothing would stay down, not even water. So I said, okay, let me go to the hospital and see what's going on, because something's not right. Now, mind you, at this time, I look a lot different. I'm 500 pounds. I get to the hospital.
500 pounds where? Like in your body?
Like in my body.
Like you were 500.
Yes.
I've never seen you close.
Yeah. I have to like show you a picture or something. It was crazy.
Continue.
It's okay. So 500 pounds, get to the hospital. And I already knew I had high blood pressure, but I didn't know it was like 300 over 280 every day because my body didn't feel it. It was so used to being that high. I thought that my body had that was my normal feeling. I didn't know your body wasn't supposed to feel like a pressure, or your head wasn't supposed to hurt a little bit, because this is my whole life for years, So get there, they're running tests, they see in my body, which normally people would be like, this is good, but it was an immense amount of protein, which is not, for the amount I had, they said something's wrong. It shouldn't even be absorbing and staying in that long. So come to find out, my kidneys were at 2%. There were blood clots in my brain because of the high blood pressure. And they said, okay, well, you're going to have to be on dialysis. So me being me, I am optimistic. I try to be a solutionist as much as I can. And so I said, okay, well, how long does that last? Like, when is that over? And they were like, oh, no, ma'am.
You trying to get to the end.
To the end. To the end. Let me know what I need to do now.
How old were you when you got diagnosed? Because
oh, my God, what's 2018? So what are we in, 24? I probably was about 28.
I always think that kidney
28.
failure is for somebody that's
oh, me too.
60 years old or something. I don't know.
I was ignorant. I thought that DaVita. Okay, don't laugh.
Yeah, I'm not gonna laugh because I don't know.
Was a place that old people went to play bingo.
Oh,
I promise you. I
it's
never
pain.
even
Yeah.
looked because I only saw older people going in there. I didn't know what dialysis was. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
ignorant. So when it happened to me, I'm like, dialysis. So I started reading and researching. Of course, they saying you need a kidney, but I still didn't know what the process of dialysis was. So
Mm-hmm.
that is basically taking all of your blood, filtering it, fluid. That's another thing too. Like treatment days, a lot of people will notice my weight fluctuates more than probably anybody's,
Mm-hmm.
right? Today, I'm probably 6 pounds heavier than I will be tomorrow because I go to treatments. Those treatments take fluid out of my body. And the only way to get it out is to be on that chair. Like normal people release it when they go to the restroom and stuff. No.
Did your
Um,
weight have anything to do with you catching,
yeah, no,
with you
being diagnosed.
getting
Yeah,
the kidney failure?
absolutely.
And,
One
mhm.
million percent.
And so, what kind of plan did you go through to kind
Yeah.
of get to start the process of your own healing? You know.
Woo, it was a journey. I remember, so I lost 170 pounds, gained it all back, lost it
Mm,
again,
mm,
which was absolutely insane. And then when I started dialysis, this was before dialysis.
yeah.
I've been dealing with weight my whole life. I
Mm,
was the larger kid. Um, but the only thing I think I really, not even regret, I just wish I had of looked at the bigger picture
yeah.
because I wasn't your normal obese kid. I
Mm-hmm.
was in everything. I was popular. Like it wasn't like I'm sitting in the corner crying. It never was that. So I thought, oh, okay, I'm normal. I'm good. Like I'm great. And of course, you hear lose weight or eat salad, but for a long time I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm processing what you're saying, but I'm also taking it like, are you chastising me? You know, like as a kid, I'm not thinking this is health. This is real. So lost the weight, got on dialysis. They said, okay, that's great. You need to lose like a lot more weight. So in order to even get on the list, I had to lose, I think like, ooh, probably like 160 more. So I went on like this crazy, I don't even know what to tell you. Like it was like a switch in my mind
Yeah.
that was like, okay, you either do it or you die. And literally I had a doctor at that time, which I wish I had had him a little bit before, that didn't sugarcoat. He was like, hey, you're 28.
I
You do
have
this or we die.
I have Shalainna Ogunbiyi here in the building with us today. She
Mm-hmm.
is the CEO and founder of Social Boss Empire and Women in Wine
Mm-hmm.
Global. And we got to take a break if that's okay with you, Miss
Yeah, of
Ogunbiyi.
course.
And then when we come back, we'll talk more and then wrap up if that's okay.
Okay, yeah.
And then we talked about your dialysis and your events that you do and
Right.
how you are helping other businesses grow and
Yes.
your idea of how to get into
Mm-hmm.
internet money.
Yeah, yeah.
So stay tapped in, stay tuned in, stay amazing. My engineer is giving me that look that I don't ever want to get again. We'll be right back.